ano mo ma'am, elements of art na we have shape, form, value, line, color, space, texture, and also music po ma'am, and mga elements po sa music which is ang mga pitch, rhythm, melody, dynamics, texture, and ang last one ma'am is dance, mga elements sa dance, mga examples sa mga dances po ma'am, and elements ano yan, kaya po ma'am. Elements of dance, mga theme, design, movements, technique. Ano po ma'am.
All right, thank you. I will be sharing my screen now. Let's start our discussion. And then also, I will be asking people who have not or haven't had their first examination yet. Okay, mag-second exam naman ta. Okay, second exam will be on Saturday. Tama ba? Klaro ba itong sabot na to? Last time?
Yes po ma'am.
Tell me if makita na ha.
Kita na po, ma'am.
Kita na, ma'am.
Okay, last time ba nag-discuss na tayo about abstraction, realism, ano pa gana yung na-discuss natin? Did we discuss those or we did not?
Done na po, ma'am.
Ano na
Okay,
po,
sige.
ma'am?
This is the continuation of those, ha? Sandali lang. All right, sige, let's start. So today we will be, since we were done discussing realism, abstraction, we also had Dadaism, tama ba ko? And then the likes. So today we will be discussing the continuation of that one. So we will start with futurism. What do we mean by futurism? May I call on somebody to read this one? May I call on, sino ba? Ah, who would want? Oh, yun. Okay. Somebody's raising their hand. Sige. Let's see. Borda?
Yes po,
Borda.
ma'am.
Hmm.
Sige. Futurism.
Putol-putol si Borda sa inyong end. Kasi putol-putol sa ako.
Yes, ma'am, putol-putol.
Putol-putol siya, no? Sige. Pwede ba na Borda, ayusan muna natin. Let's have habla daw. Let's try habla. Habla, balikan lang natin si Borda later. Sige, Habla, would you like to read?
Nawala po ang ay dara, ma'am.
Sorry. Okay na
Okay,
ba?
Futurism. Futurism was an Italian art movement of the early 20th century that aimed to capture in art the dynamism and energy of the modern world. It glorified modernity and aimed to liberate Italy from the weight of its past.
All right. So futurism from its root word future. And it started in Italy, where an Italian art movement has discussed about the different things to capture the 20th century. So when you work in the world of art and you wanted to present your notion, perception, and idea about the future, you put modernity, liberation, and its weight compared to the past, you are actually looking in the perspective of a futurist. So ang imuang work of art karon is in the perspective of futurism. That's in art. Pero that's visual arts. Pag performance art naman tayo, on the other hand, yung mga dance movements na modern, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Jabberwockies. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Sila katong murag ka ng models good for futurist dance or kind of futuristic dance. Okay? At some point, pwede nating i-identify yung mga costumes rather, na nagadepict good of futuristic theme. Okay? Colors such as silver, gold, metallic, tapos glittering and shining. Kana sila mga manifestation na ang ilang perspective and theme sa ilang performance is futuristic. Okay, let's move on. Okay, one of the many people that we would like to adore and look up on when we talk of the idea of futurism is the Italian poet Filippo Tommaso Marinetti. Okay, in the year 1909, he was very, very good on presenting his works in literary in a futuristic perspective. All right, we also have Umberto Bocconi. I don't know if I pronounce it properly. So, ang iyang painting na The City Rises is a futuristic capture of the love of dynamism and fondness of the modern city. Bakit kaya? Okay, it's because of number one. Okay, though it's vague pero we see people here. Okay, and we see colors depicting our world today. So it's pula mo good. It's intense emotion. These days, grabe ka intense na ato from the ano yun siya, innovations down to how people react to things. Okay, from literal to figurative. Futuristic kaayo ang iyahang presentation sa iyahang painting. Okay. We also have Giacomo Baglia. Okay, Giacomo Baglia is a futuristic painter as well. So he chose the automobile as a symbol of speed, reflecting the statement of futurist Filippo Tommaso Marinetti rather, where he got it from the manifesto of Marinetti's, the world's splendor has been enriched by a new beauty. The beauty of speed, a roaring automobile, and it seems to run in sharpnel or shrapnel. Ano ibig sabihin yun? And that sa fast pacing ng ating world ngayon, because of the innovations, because of the advancement of technology, everything is in speedy pace, or everything is instant noodles, instant rice, instant lahat. Pati pakikipagrelasyon, instant. Pwede na dyan kay kamanguyab. In just 2 days ninyong chat, text, wa na, uyab na mo sa 3rd day. In the previous times, it takes years. Okay? Kinahanglan pa nimo magsilbi sa pamilya sa babae, kinahanglan pa kag magbungkal-bungkal diha, mga bo ka diha, and uban pa panguyaban nimo yung mga igagaw and tanan na sa ilang clan. These days, wa ka kaila sa iyang parents, pwede jud kay mo magkauyab. Okay? Literally and figuratively, the way our artworks are presented today is in the beauty of speed. Paspas tanan. So, Baglia would like to present this one in a form of automobile na paspas na dyan siya, everything is in speedy pace. Let's move on. Okay, this one naman is a work of Gino Severini. Okay, it's titled Armored Train in Action. Though, visually, okay, we might imagine na asa man dira ang train, ma'am. Okay, but if you're going to look at it closely, kani siya ba? Okay, mura siyang armor, di ba? Kanang nasa tanks. Okay, kanang mga tank gera. Oh. So what does this one a fast-moving soldiers shooting. Oh, maklaro man ninyo, kaning blue, look at it. Oh, kaning blue. Klaro man siya na, ang tawag dito, na tao ni siya, this is the barrel. Again, these are the hands. Kaning blue mo na ilahang uniform at some point. So these are soldiers shooting long using their powerful guns. So it is in the style of futurism and the idea of the Italians that glorify technology, warmth, dynamism of new objects, and the fast pace of urban life. Ano yung ibig sabihin nun? Because of the speedy and the fast pace of the world, it's also easy for people to have fights, to create wars. And to be able to dominate wars, people, countries, leaders, lead wars using their technology. Look at Ukraine and Russia. Look at the US, Germany. Okay? The more advanced they show the world that they are, or the more these third world countries are afraid of them. Why? Because people these days glorify their technology in war. Or the more advanced your technology of killing people, the more you are powerful. This is what Gino Severini is trying to tell us. Okay, that war these days is not more of harap-harapan mo. In the previous times, harap-harapan dyan, dinunggabay, sumbaganay, and all. These days, no. You can actually sit in your office but actually maneuver a nuclear bomb under the sea going to China. Kaya gusto niyo mo pabuto ng China. Okay? These things or these are manifested in the work of Gino Severini. Okay? Ginapakita niya ba na in our world, fast and speedy pace, marami din, madali na din tayong mamatay, which is actually true. Kahit na sa food natin, everything is instant, instant noodles, instant kanon. Ang gipangsagol-sagol ana, syempre, pang instant na maded punta. Okay, literally and figuratively, futurism gives us the view in the window as to how easy things are going in our everyday endeavor, in our everyday interaction, as well as it's easier for us to die these days. Next, we have Umberto Bocconi. This is his work, The Dynamism of a Cyclist, where the painting of him demonstrates the futuristic preoccupation of speed, modern methods of transport, and the depiction of the dynamic sensation of movement. Pas na karon. Okay? Actually, it's true. If you're working and you really have a lot of things to do, you did not know, hala, alas 4 na di ay, my God, hapit na alas 5, ugma na pod, lahi na pod ang day. Okay? Everything is working and moving fast. That's why sometimes, according nga sa sinasabi nito, sa kanabang mga memes or mga famous na mga kanang kasi tawag na to, kanang mga famous na naghatag og memes or mga quotes. Okay? It takes a great person in our generation to pause and appreciate a blooming flower. Bakit? Kasi pagdaan natin, blooming siya ngayon. The next time around, wilt na siya. Wilted na. Okay? So, time really, okay, sa ating time ngayon, time really is kind of fast-pacing ba? So, the futuristic point of view of this futurist is giving us the idea that pausing, sitting, and giving time to everything in a normal movement of time is, kana ba siyang great na siya. Okay? Kaya nga no, paspas naman tanan. Dali na lang kaayo. Sige. Okay, let's move on to our next lesson. Hanapin ko muna ha. That was lesson number 3, 4. Tama. Lesson 3, 4. Sana yun? English 20. This is how paper looks like if you're a teacher. Of course, di man ni siya pareha sa inyo, ha? Lesson 3-4? Lesson 3-4 ba yun? Sige, maklik ni mamang exam, no? Afatay na. Ano? 5-6 to. 5-6 to. Ay, 5 lang din. Okay, next is symbolism. Okay, I would like to call on somebody. Balikan natin yung kanina, yung hindi nakabasa. Isa ganito. Was it Honey?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, Honey, would you like to read for us?
Okay. Symbolism was a late 19th century art movement of French, Russian, and Belgian origin in poetry and other arts. Symbolism initially developed as a French literary movement in the 1880s, gaining popular credence with the publication in 1886 of Jean Morris' manifesto in Le Figaro.
Okay. So, symbolism, after the rise of futurism, iba na naman yung nag-rise in the late 19th century. So, padulong na to sa 20th century. Okay? And the first to rise above among, siguro, among the pool of artists is the symbolists or the symbolism perspective. So, this one emerged. Okay? It's a movement that emerged in France, Russia, and Belgium. Why in the past, bakit yung most of our literary performance artists, maskig mga painters natin, bakit kaya it's coming from Europe always? Sige nga, may I call on? Let's have our ginatawag na to, nga naputol na to nga recording. Ay, no, naputol na to nga mag-record sa inyo ha. Sorry. Inyo recitation. Sige nga, would you like to share? Bakit kaya most of the kanabang in the field of arts, literature, and even basta mga artists came from Europe, like France, Russia, Belgium, Germany. Okay, but most of it is Italy. Okay, but most of them are really from France and Russia. Bakit kaya? Sige nga, let's call on. May I call on Ibaya? Nico? Nico, are you around? Is Nico around? Or would somebody want to volunteer and answer, share their learnings in the past? You don't have to go search Google. Okay? I just wanted to know if you have the idea, bakit kaya? Kahit theory lang natin. Or your way of understanding it. Bakit kaya most of it came from Europe? Sige nga. Somebody raise your hand if they wanted to talk. Or I would call again, Jora Davirao. You have something in mind? Bakit kaya everything started in Europe? Wala? Oh, Barbarona, Angelica. Yes, Borda. You were raising your hand. Yeah.
Yes
But
po,
you already
ma'am.
had man. Tapos ka naman, Iha.
I counted na po to, ma'am.
Yes, na naka-score diri sa ako. Lagnayo, yes, you were raising your hand.
Idea lang na ako.
Yeah,
Idea lang na
sure.
ako, ma'am. For me, ma'am, kay marag sila na unagan ni ma'am sa kanang mas advanced sa mga like about sa mga kuan, ma'am, gamit pang art, so mas nauna sila kabuhat og ana, ma'am.
Okay, pero meron ka namang score, Iha, Lagnayo. How about those na wala pa score? Rosales, Villatoro, Gabisan, Cabras, Abeliana, Alayon, Boktoto. How about you, guys? De La Torre, Daverao. Wala kayong score dito sa aking, sa aking Israel. Israel? Nasa Israel? Gabriel? Rin. Sige daw. For
Ay,
those who
basahan mo, ma'am.
recall. Sige, sino
Ah,
to? You
Sim-
tell me your family name.
Israel po, ma'am.
Go ahead, Israel.
Symbolism was a late 19th century art movement of
No,
French,
Iho.
Russian.
I have a question, Iho, Israel. I did not ask you to read. My question was, why do you think most of artists, artisans, or yung mga artistic point of views ba and perspective sa world nagsimula sa Europe? Bakit kaya, Iho?
Siguro, ma'am,
Your
because
classmate shared earlier because they were the ones who led the advancement, mga inventions. Besides that, ano pa kaya?
siguro
Besides that?
nagsugod ang kuan, ma'am, itong sila artist sa ilang nature po, ma'am. Sa
Sige.
ilang view sa kuan.
Ilahang nature? Sige nga. Let's call on.
Sagaran gud
Sige. Continue, Israel. Let's try Zanoria. Thank you, Israel.
Ma'am,
Yes, Zanoria.
para lang sa kuha, ma'am, mao diya nagsugod ang kuan mga artist kay sa Europe man ko nagsugod ang kuan, ma'am. Christianism, so ang Christianism man ko nang influence sa art, ma'am.
Ano yun?
Mao naman.
Ano yun siya? Unsa tayo nagsugod?
Ang Christianism, ma'am, sa Europe nag-originate, ma'am. So ang Christianism, ma'am, kay
Sa to? Dili kayo na kumakot. Pwede ni may type? Unsa to nagsugod?
wait lang, ma'am.
Unsa to nagsugod dong? Sige daw, i-type daw dong. Kay murag wala kay na ako nabasa. Wala na ako nakuha kayo basig nabungol lang ko dong. Sige daw dong. Ano yun? While waiting, yes, Barbarona, would you like to add something?
For me po, ma'am, because ang art nag-start in the western countries po, ma'am, because siguro kani man kong mga arts is ginagamit gani nila, ma'am, as a communication po, ma'am. Then at the same time po, ma'am, kani mga discoveries like sa mga caves gani, ma'am, dili lang man jud siya diri ang nag-originate, ma'am. Naman po sila yung mga discoveries about ato, ma'am. Aside from that, ma'am, kanang mostly wala ganig na sila hadaan na tradition po, ma'am.
Okay.
Culture po.
Sige. Baka meron pa gusto mag-add. Christianism. You were thinking, you were talking about Christianism, Zanoria. Sige. Okay. How about the others?
Ako po, ma'am. Kanang,
Yes, Rin. You were raising your hand, Rin.
yes, ma'am. Kanang, for me lang po, ma'am, based lang sa akong na-remember po, ma'am, smurag, sa ilaha, nagsugod tong mga war, good ma'am, World War, di ko sure to po, ma'am, na diha sa ilaha nag-start po, ma'am. So, diha nila ginakaan, ma'am, pamaagi ang ilahang way of protest or way nila, ma'am, na to send messages good to other people, ma'am, through art or making mga inana, good ma'am.
Okay. Sige. Okay. Sige nga, basig na apay naapa jud. Sig na apa jud di ay. Yes, Iskabosa.
Kuan ma'am, for me ma'am kay dili lang for me ma'am kay dili lang jud sa Europe country nag-start ma'am murag ang Europe lang una na recognize ma'am kay murag adventurous gud sila nga nag-explore sila sa laing continent ma'am o art ma'am kay na murag mas ning laganap gud ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Sige, Barbarona, you're raising your hand. Duma naman ka. How about the others? Would you like to share? Sige, wala. Okay, sige. Why did it? Because in the previous times, there are actually two reasons. Because in the previous times, only, okay, only the Europe continent or people in Europe have an established school or education system. Hindi ko sinasabing tayo dito wala ha. Meron tayo, but ours is very informal. Informal ang atin. Sa kanila kasi, there had their education systematic. So one of the many things na ilahang na-appeal sa curriculum is arts and sciences. Maunang they were well kanabang oriented or kanang exposed as to what is arts and what are the different forms of arts, what is genre or the genre of arts. Another, because since naa sila education system or systematized, established education system, another is that Europeans, they believe on leading. Okay, leading kasi they are the descendants of the mother of all nation. Ano yan? Okay, yung nag-claim na siya ang mother of all nation. In the world of arts, ha? The Greeks. Okay, feeling magod sa mga Greeks. So, from arts down to philosophy, they believe na sila ang leaders. Sila ang nangunguna. But actually, they're not. Kasi the cradle of civilization started in Asia, specifically in Iran and Iraq. And these days, these countries were deprived, marginalized. Pero in the past, sila yung tinatawag nating cradle of civilization, which means sila ang nagsugod og civilization. Sila ang pinaka-bright na mga tao. Sila ang one of the many na nakadiscover sa Epirus, okay, together with Egypt and so on and so forth. Therefore, Asians, specifically in the Middle East, kaya lang, the mentality in the past is that ang Europe manggo, they're very progressive as to technology. In short, marabaging ani ba? You are from a prominent family in the Philippines. Your family can afford you to send to Paris or Paris in France para mag-eskwela. So kung ikumpara ka sa bata nga nakagraduate diri alang sa Pilipinas, you're more advanced. Bakit? Mas advanced man ilahang way of education dito. So murag ingana ang dating ba? And now they're claiming that they're more dominant. Okay, we will go back to the idea of elitism, bourgeoisie, capitalism. Yun yung pinaglalaban ni Marx. Okay? Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na the Renaissance period. Though the Western countries or the Europe are claiming that they're dominant, but originally, according to history and literature, it was always the Asians na nag-start. Okay? Sila nag-start. However, we were deprived of resources. Okay? Wala kaayo tayo resources. And that time, we're very vulnerable. Okay? Meek. Modest. Ganyan kasi ang ating culture, di ba? Kaya nga mas liberated sila sa atin. Okay? Western countries, they're very liberated. Sa atin, in these days, meron pa rin tayong yung we're very meek, modest. Okay? Kinaraan kaita. It's because we're way compared to them. So today, up to date, or in the recent world, our country, Philippines, is actually 75 years away from the kanabang technology, technology. So imagine, okay, ang atong mga tangke di gera dere is pang 75 years ago pa ginagamit sa mga countries na very advanced compared to us. So logically, that actually affects our standing in literature and in arts. Okay? Mo na makita niyo mo ato sa lang nasa yawad sila mga gamit dito advanced. Yes, because they are 75 years away from us. Okay? And mag-reflect na siya sa atong product sa arts. That's why we felt like mas advanced sila. However, originally we are. Kaya lang, we lack of resources. Okay, sige. One of the reasons why we lack is that because we are tamad in nature, of Filipinos specifically. Bakit tayo tamad? Geographically speaking, we are tamad because we only have 2 seasons. We have the sunny days and the rainy days. Sa kanila doon, mabilis ang lahat because they have 4 seasons. So they have to work on kasi pag abot ng winter, wala na sila resources, mamatay ang ilang mga tanom. So in short, kailangan magpasma sila himog preservatives. Ang kanilang mga food makalast og longer because in the time of winter, wala sila kaunon. Okay? Sa atin, no. Kasi pagkatapos ng ulan, merong rainbow na darating. Oh, very Filipino mentality. Very tapulan. Ay, dila sa kumanghugas karon ugma na lang. Manya na habit. Okay? That's actually one reason why we are 75 years away from them. Let's continue. So symbolism in literature is the style originates with the 1857 publication of Charles Baudelaire's The Lay Fleur de Mal. If I'm not mistaken, lay means the and fleur is flower. I'm not quite sure kung saan yung mal. Okay? Because I'm not a French or ako Frances. So the works of Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe is a very famous Gothic writer, which Baudelaire admired greatly and translated it into French. So if you know Edgar Allan Poe, okay, kisa kailan ni Edgar Allan Poe? Dili si Fernando Poe, ha? Edgar Allan Poe, katong famous na Gothic artist and writer. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, mo ba nito siya ang makasulat na muhawd, musulat basta mahubog? Tama ba ko, class? Tapos ang iyang katumbas ana sa Pilipinas kay si Severino Reyes, katong mahubog pod. Nga hawd na kay musulat. You go check daw, basig na wrong ko. Because according to my knowledge, mo ni siya katong, the more siya mahubog, the more siya mohawd og sulat. I don't know if I'm quite sure. Ha, you go check your literature daw, lit 1 and lit 2. Eh, tigulang na kay si ma'am, basig na nakalimot na. So, si Charles, okay, sa iyahang publication, sa iyahang Le Fleur or The Flowers, kay iyahan ni siyang marabag inspiration niya si Edgar Allan Poe ba. That's why the influence of Poe to him is very significant, and many of the tropes and images that he has in his works originally are from the ideas of Edgar Allan Poe. Let's continue. So why are we talking as one? Because in the idea of a symbolistic perspective, we see arts in its symbol. So kung unsa na ginapakita sa mga symbol dara and what does it signify, represents, or represents and presents, na gina siya symbolistic meaning. So this aesthetic was developed by Stephanie Mallarmé and Paul Verlaine in the year 1860s. The idea of making an art in a very beautiful manner. Kana bang pangita pagkabuhat, oy. Okay, pag dili ma-plaster, pangit dayon. And we do not consider it as art dayon. Okay, kinsa may nag-influence sa ato ana si Mallarmé and si Verlaine. However, the symbolist name was first applied by a critic named John Moria or Morias, who invented that term symbolist from the related decadence of literature and art. Kasi in literature, we are more of words. So pag musulti ta sa atong poema na the beauty of my beloved is compared to a flower. Di ba automatic, ang flower nag-symbolize na siyang beauty. So meaning, ang iyang beloved, iyang uyab, gwapa kaayo in a symbolistic point of view. Okay, let's continue. Symbolism was soon identified as the artwork of a younger generation of painters who were rejecting the conventions of naturalism. So, naturalism, si symbolism ang kontra sa naturalism or naturalistic point of view. Bakit? Naturally speaking, ang ginapakita aning mga naturalistic painters or artists is the nature itself. Okay? Following the umbrella of realism. Kung unsay nakita ni mo dira, mao na gina siya. Because naturally, mao man gid na. However, symbolistic point of view do not do that, or that is not more of manner niya. Kasi sometimes kung tayo nag-drawing ka, itom kayo ang kuan background, pero ang imuhang nasa center is a candle. Okay? And a realistic point of view, that is like plainly candle. And it's very odd and it's very dull. Pwede kang mo conclude na pangit siya. But in a symbolistic point of view, guwapo kay na siya. Manuman, because a candle symbolizes light. So in your darkest moment, na ay light ginang maghatag sa imo. That candle may symbolize your mother, your father, the inspiration, and etc. etc. So the symbolistic perspective now gives us a notion na just because duha lang ka pattern, ka color ang involved sa imuhang painting, kay dili na siya nindot or gwapo. How compared to realism and naturalism, kinahanglan na mga color red, pink, ana kay ginapakita man nimo ang garden. So gwapo gina siya tanawon. Okay? Na naturalistically and realistically speaking. Pero kung sa symbolism ka, pwedeng dili. Pwedeng black lang yung background, nasa sa room, ngit-ngit kaayo, tapos candle lang, gwapo kay pagka-hide sa candle. Okay? Pwedeng ganun. Symbolistically speaking, pwedeng ganun. Pwede din, ang meaning ng candle is that, okay, the setting is, yan, kanang sa kapobrehon ni mo ba? Na at the end of the day, pobre ka, it would not necessarily mean na wala na hope and light na mag-guide sa imo to reach success. Pwede din ganun. It's upon our interpretation. So that is what symbolism is trying to tell us. Okay, it's an away from the realistic and naturalistic point of view of arts. Let's move on. Okay, so distinct from it, but related somehow, the style of literature, symbolism in art is related to the Gothic component of Romanticism and Impressionism. Ano yung ibig sabihin nun? Kasi ang sikat dito ng mga artists ay sila Edgar Allan Poe. The same with yung example ko. Di ba Gothic kaayo ang idea na nasa room lang ngit-ngit tapos kandila na nagasiga. Gothic man na siya. What do you mean by Gothic? Kanang dull ba? Itom, hadlock, scary. If literally, in ana atong perspective, on. But in symbolism, nindot na siya actually ang meaning niya. Kay in the Romanticism time and Impressionism, sa time ni Queen Victoria, call it Victorian, nakalimot ko eh. Kaysa fashion na siya, Victorian fashion man na siya. Katong mga time nga katong nga mga sanina ha, mag-search ko class. Victorian era ng mga costume, mga Gothic-like manggod ni sila nga mga costume, costumes rather. Victorian, yun, dress, ito. Okay. Sige, para ma-share, para meron tayong ma-learn ka. Yan, eto. Okay, remember these costumes? Movie nga ingani ilahang mga costume. Kaning nga ingani gani girls? Okay, tingog mo girls. Basig wala na ko'y ka-istorya diri. Okay? This time, ito yung ang nagpasikat ani nga costume is si Queen Victoria. Okay, I'm not quite sure kung sa Spain ba ni or sa Russia, ha? Pero ang I believe kay tungod aning ani nga concept kato ganing sa Disney katong nagkata sa In the beginning of you. Kalimot naman ko kasi. No one told me. Kanang nga kay sa TikTok nga kanta. Kinsa na siya nga Disney princess. Anastasia, she's a Russian Disney princess. Okay? Katong mga costume nila dito, that is actually a Victorian era under the Romanticist point of view or approach or umbrella. Okay? So si symbolism that time, okay? Siya kibali ba ang in relation to Romanticism and Impressionism. Kaso lang, ang focus ni symbolism is more of Gothic. Kaya bang dull, ngit-ngit. Ana ang iyang perspective ba into colors, into kanang form, into lines and figures kung imong i-present sa art. Si Romanticism, mo ni siya katumbas sa symbolism pero different. Mo ni siya tong playful ang colors nga gamiton, mo ni siya tong different, kana bang appealing sa eyes, pero it's in a romanticist point of view. I don't know if I make sense to you, but I'm making sense to myself. That is how we see these different approaches in umbrella when we talk of art. So if you have really learned from your Lit 1 and Lit 2, you can actually relate to what I'm talking to you right now. Okay? Kung wala, o hala, tuan ninyo inyong Lit 1 o Lit 2 nga teacher. Now, the artists and works in the symbolism point of view. Ito yun. So makita ninyo, mas dominant yun ang Gothic or karabang ngit-ngit, dull. Not more of light exposure. Ito yun. Okay? Sige, this one was the Death and the Grave Digger. Or si Death ni siya o katong kanang mga nagadig sa mga grave, kanang mga nagakalot or mga pamilya na sila sa kanang naa sa mga cemetery. Okay, nga kanang nagaatiman sa lubong o mo na siya. Grave digger. Okay, this is one way of presenting symbolism. If you look at it, Gothically speaking, hadlok siya, di ba? Pero pag symbolistic point of view ang atong tanawan, this is just a way of life. That at the end of the day, all of us will die and somebody will dig your grave and put you in it. Hindi na siya dapat na to kahadlukan. It's another stage of our existence, death. Symbolistic point of view, yun. Realistically speaking, that is actually scary. Ginoo ko, hadlok kay mamatay. Okay? Especially pag wala pa kay liwat. Okay, next. Okay. Ito naman, on the other hand, look at it. This is St. George fighting the dragon. Okay? Pero symbolistically speaking, okay, dili man nato siya ma-grasp kay wala man jud ta kabalon sa wala man jud ta ka-experience sa idea anang dragon. Pero in a symbolistic point of view, pwede nato na siyang tan-awon as it's a marabag dako nga challenge. Okay, a challenge wherein St. George has kanang defeated it. Kasi in the picture or in the painting, gina-fight man niya. So symbolistically speaking, one may be fighting something that they really feared of or they're really scared of, and yet ma-dominate and ma-overcome na nila. Okay? That's symbolism. Sige. Ala, nasa ito isa. Okay, this one naman is The Inspiration of Saint Matthew. This is by Michelangelo Caravaggio. I don't know if I pronounce it properly. I think he's an Italian, Michelangelo man. Okay, this is Saint Matthew. I'm not a Catholic, so I don't really know the background of Saint Matthew. But if I'm going to judge the picture and critic, okay, look at the background again. It's black. So dili jud pwede mawala ang black sa symbolism. And there's an angel to it. So maybe in the past, according to the Bible, this is just a tag na theory of mine na, siguro Saint Matthew had a conversation with an angel. Of who that angel is, we do not know. And the last one is, this is Madonna, or Stupak Madonna by Matthias Grunewald. Okay? Si Madonna, di ba, Madonna is somewhat an image of a liberated woman. Pero look at how Madonna was being kanabang presented here. Okay? The Madonna that I'm talking is the Madonna in the painting, ha? Not the Madonna nagkanta like a virgin. No. Yung si Madonna sa painting, okay? Madonna there, why is it very famous? Because of the mystery in the smile. On the other hand, here, Madonna here has a child. Okay? So, it's a different, maraba, it's moving away from the natural idea of Madonna na alam natin. Wala mo siya anak dito. Okay? And again, look at how dim, dull, and yung black na color is naadjud sa painting. Sige. Question so far, everybody? May mga tanong tayo, students?
Ma'am,
Yes?
kaning nga na siya sa Kuiper po.
Yeah, this one, I don't think so. Wala pa. But I will be sending it right now. Sige, thank you for
Okay
reminding
po.
me.
Sige po. Thank you, ma'am. Studyhan
Okay,
ng tanong ko.
sandali. Sandali, ha? Nasaan ka na ba to? Lesson. Wala pa. And also, yung last time. Tama ba? Yo, wala pa na ako na-send. Okay, I will be sending it right now. Oh, para ma-answer dyan ninyo. Sige, while waiting, I would like to check the attendance. Abeliana,
Present, ma'am.
Adobas,
Present, ma'am.
Alayon,
Present, ma'am.
Barbarona,
Present po, ma'am.
Baloyo,